Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tania. If you're not familiar with my channel, I'm a part-time reseller. I sell vintage and a few modern brands on sites like eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Depop, and Facebook Marketplace. I'll sell wherever I can sell. So if you clicked on this video, I am here to share my experience working in wholesale and liquidation. I was a sales rep for almost 10 years. This video is in response to the drama surrounding liquidation companies and just events that have happened on social media by influencers and resellers in this community. I know not everyone might be aware. A lot of you may not even be interested. So I hope you'll still watch this video for some information regarding, work that I've done in the past to learn a little bit more about me personally. And maybe you can share this with somebody else who's interested in actually purchasing liquidation and wholesale directly from a manufacturer. I'm a small fry little channel. I'm not monetized. I'm not sponsored. I just want to share my personal experience with people to hopefully just help someone on their journey and reaffirm them that there are people in this community that do care about others, that are here to build community. I've also worked, again, I'm going to go into and explain, I have worked in the industry, actually selling to real liquidators. So I feel like I have some personal experience that I would like to share with you. Furthermore, I'm also part of Becky Park on Poshmark. I'm gonna link her channel and her handle down below. She has a YouTube course for resellers. I don't have an affiliate link actually, but you can tell her that I recommended you. You can slide into her DMs if you're interested in learning more about her YouTube course. But she has a Facebook group where she posted something in response to this scandal that's happening right now, and she just said something that really spoke to me. And she said that we should take this time to really evaluate what our core values are and what we stand for and what we want to be known for. And yeah, I want to be known for someone that builds community, somebody that's willing to help their fellow neighbor out. That's what I stand for. I want to help others, and I want to be, a source for inspiration and motivation and just help each other out. So if that is your vibe as well, go ahead and give me a like, follow, and subscribe. Mostly I do, vintage clothing hauls, thrift hauls. I share what I sell online. So come back next week for that content. This video is going to be specifically about the wholesale and liquidation industry. Again, I'm not monetized, I'm not sponsored. You can support me just by liking this video, sharing it with someone who might be interested. Comment down below, let me know what you think. If you want to support me in other ways, you can follow me on Instagram, or just leave a nice comment, leave a smile emoji down below, or you can buy me a cup of coffee. I do have a buy me a coffee link down below. So I buy basic $2 coffee from my local donut shop. So yeah, stay tuned to the end of the video, where I'm gonna give you a direct link to where you can access a directory of wholesale and liquidation websites. It's gonna give you all of the contact information. This is all free. But you are going to have to meet me halfway and do a little bit of research and do a little bit of work, and I'm going to explain all that for you on the way. Okay, so about me and my past work experience. So I want to say between 2008 and 2018, so 10 years, that 10-year period, I worked as an international sales rep, and I worked for a manufacturer. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but essentially we were part of the beauty industry. Granted, it wasn't fashion, but I feel like we worked side by side with clothing manufacturers. So we essentially sales reps work in the kind of the same format and the same formula, I guess. So I worked in the beauty industry, and we manufactured beauty implements and tools. So if you walk down any beauty supply shop, if you walk down the accessories line, my company probably manufactured them. I'm talking about every beauty tool that you can think of, for example, eyelash curlers, makeup brushes, makeup sponges, mirrors, what else, like tweezers, nail clippers, like things like that. Those kind of tools that are in the accessories lines of like any makeup aisle, like that is what I sold, that is what we manufactured, that is what I represented. And I sold those products in various formats, wholesale and liquidation, to real liquidators. So when I say what is a real liquidator, who is a liquidator? A liquidator, when I was working, were the representatives that were coming directly to our markets. TJ Maxx was the #1 liquidator. Ross, Marshalls, DD's Discounts, Big Lots, like those types of companies. I think there's a company in the South called Tuesday Morning. And if you think about like TJ Maxx, for example, they have their UK stores and they have their Canada stores. So those are who true liquidators are. And think about how many stores does TJ Maxx have in the United States alone. Okay, so I just did a quick Google search and TJ Maxx has 1,271 stores across the United States. Now think about how many truckloads they need to buy in order to fill all of those stores. So if you see one person online buying a truckload of items, of mixed items at that, and calling themselves a liquidator, versus TJ Maxx, who has 1,271 stores across the United States. Think about the truckloads that they need to buy per item to fill those stores. That is a liquidator. This person is not a liquidator. So I feel like the term liquidator is getting tossed around so loosely now. This isn't to throw shade at anyone. I'm not a shady person. I'm not trying to start beef with anyone. Everyone is welcome to purchase their inventory whatever way that works for them. But like, just speaking from my personal experience actually working in the industry, when someone uses a term so loosely, it's like, that's not liquidation. You know? So okay, so TJ Maxx has 1,271 stores across the United States. They are probably purchasing a truckload of shoes, a truckload of jeans, a truckload of dresses, a truckload of underwear, a truckload of accessories. That's 5 truckloads. That's just the basics for one store. Now multiply that times 1,271 stores. Like, do the math. That is liquidation. That is liquidation. That is the volume you need to qualify in order to be a liquidator. So now you see people online popping up and buying 1 or 2 pallets, buying a truckload and calling themselves a liquidator, and then selling you a liquidation box for $500. That's not liquidation. That's not liquidation. If anything, they're just selling you a bundle. They're just selling you a lot. So as you know, as a buyer, as a consumer, it is your responsibility to do the math and, you know, find out what works for you. I've purchased these boxes in the past and they haven't worked for me. They're fun, you know, they're fun. They're essentially just mystery boxes. It's fun to unbox them and see what you find inside. Maybe you'll get lucky and find a really nice, valuable item. But for the most part, you're basically just breaking even. Sometimes I buy the box because I want one of the items for myself. So that's how I justify it. I can keep one of the items, I can sell 4 of the items, I can break even, and essentially I got my item for free. That's how I do the math when I'm buying these liquidation boxes. But it is your responsibility to do your own research and, you know, do the math, calculate the math in your head before you buy these and see if it's even profitable for you. But that's really just why I wanted to do this video, because again, I worked in the industry and I have sat down with liquidators. I've made contracts with liquidators. So when, you know, XYZ on Instagram is calling themselves a liquidator, I'm like, yeah, that's not liquidation. You're essentially just selling bundles. You're selling lots is what you're selling. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can sell whatever you want. You know, you can buy inventory any way you want. Okay, so I'm editing the video and I feel like I did a poor job at explaining that once, you know, the liquidator then reliquidates that inventory, it's no longer liquidation. Like, for example, when a person buys a pallet from a liquidator, that pallet is already being marked up. And now when the reseller is selling the items from that single pallet, at that point, it's no longer liquidation. They're just reselling, and they're just selling you a lot or a bundle essentially. At that point, it's no longer liquidation. Does that make sense? I'm sorry if it may be a little confusing, but again, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And I also want to say that I understand that there may be more liquidators now. Like when I was working in the industry 10 years ago, yeah, TJ Maxx and, you know, Ross, those companies were the main liquidators out there. I understand that there may be new companies that I'm not aware of now that have different volume, but I just wanted to use TJ Maxx as the example to understand the volume that's needed to buy liquidation. And liquidation usually is always when you buy directly from a company or manufacturer. Anytime after that point, it's no longer liquidation. It's just like reselling at markups in order to make profit on items that essentially did not succeed in the retailer, that did not succeed for the manufacturer, and they just keep trickling down from liquidation to another reseller attempting to sell a pallet, attempting to put it in a mystery box, if that makes sense. If you want to buy liquidation, if you want to go directly to these manufacturers and get the lowest price possible, you do need to get a resale license / seller's permit. You know, I call it a seller's permit, but like officially, I think the name is a resale license. You have to do your own research. You have to go to your local county office. You can actually even go to your local city hall. I live in California. I'm in Los Angeles County. I had to go to the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration. I got my resale license like maybe 8 years ago, and I had to go to the county courthouse to fill out my paperwork, and it's free. I mean, at least here in the state of California, it's free. You just have to submit the application, and then you are responsible to do your quarterly taxes and pay your taxes in order to use the license. Once you have your license, you can go to wholesale trade shows. You can meet directly with manufacturers, companies, and there are liquidation companies that, you know, sell lots and sell pallets, and you can meet with them directly and you can get the best price. So one of the first shows that I worked when I worked in wholesale and liquidation was ASD, the ASD show in Las Vegas. The ASD show in Las Vegas happens 2 times a year, once in March and once in August. The next show, I believe, is 22nd to the 25th. It's a 4-day trade show, and it's free. It's free to attend. Once you get your resale license, you can go to this event and you can meet all of the manufacturers. You can buy directly from wholesale liquidators, and you will be able to get the best price depending on your budget and depending on each company and what their minimums are. The company that I worked for, our bare minimum was $500, and besides $500, there were certain items that you had to buy. Most of our items we sold by the inner box, so our inner box was 12 pieces for most items. Some were 6, and then some companies will require you to buy the case. So some of our products had maybe like 100 pieces per case, so that was the bare minimum. You had to buy at least of 100 per style, per color, and the bare minimum you could spend with us was $500. And we did ask for a copy of your reseller's permit. So here is the link to the ASD online portal. Once you register with them for free, you can request a badge to attend the show. The show happens in Las Vegas, and there's hundreds of other shows. I mean, not just in Vegas, but like across the United States. Like I used to go to shows in Orlando, in Miami. I went to Denver, Hawaii. I went to a spa and beauty trade show in Hawaii. That was so much fun. Like, it was a fun time, but it was also very toxic. It's a very toxic industry. If you're a sales rep, I don't know how you do it. Like, I'm so happy I don't work in that industry anymore. It was just very toxic. But I did get to travel domestically and internationally. Internationally, I got to go to I went to Italy, I went to Hong Kong, I went to Dubai, I went to Latin America, I went to Mexico regularly, I went to Guatemala. Like, it was so much fun. Like, yes, I got to travel. I think it looked glamorous, but it wasn't very glamorous. It was a lot of work and very stressful, very stressful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, once you get your seller's permit, I don't even think you need your seller's permit to view the directory. The directory is there. You can click on it and look at all the companies. However, I don't think the companies will actually sell to you if you don't have the seller's permit. So you are going to need your seller's permit. And this is where you have to meet me halfway, right? You have to do your own research. You have to do the work for yourself. You have to get your permit. And once you get your permit, you can go. This is just one of the events that you can go to where you can get lots of contacts for your business. If you're an experienced reseller, I hope you also enjoyed this video and see that I didn't give away your contacts, but I did point someone in the right direction. And I hope you will join me and in supporting, you know, up and coming resellers, and, you know, not scam them, and, you know, just be honest and truthful with what you sell online. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you liked it. Go ahead and give me a like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll be back next week with my regular content. I am doing a haul of vintage inspired clothing, and also my top, I don't know if it's top 5 or top 8 vintage reproduction clothing lines to look out for that have a high resale value. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.